Okay, I thought we'd talk a little bit about our newest, latest, most happening project, the website.
Yeah.
As far
Before we do this, I'd like to say in public that my partner in the many things we're doing now, the website and the living books and CD-ROMs, and not to mention an oil well we're digging out there, and a gold mine. He's my partner, and it's a great, great joy to me to have a son who is I admire. He tells me what to do. He's the perfect son. He bosses me for my own good only, and he's thinking about me a lot of the time, and I thank you, and I love you, Zack.
Thank you.
And I think I'm the happiest father in the world at this moment.
Thank you.
Probably change in an hour.
So basically, my observations of the web are, you know, it's the fastest growing population in the world right now.
Oh.
The World Wide Web.
It's faster than the spread of
Ebola.
Ebola, syphilis, name it all together. And it can't be
And
cured.
what-
There's no cure for the open brain, right?
And what amazes me really is that you've been talking about the web in so many words for about 10 years in terms of designing your own electronic environment.
Mm-hmm.
So now that its time has come, what is the most important function of the web?
Well, Marshall McLuhan, the great philosopher, said it all. We have these enormous brains, 120 billion. You know, you've heard this 1,000 times. And we're not using our brains, and we're learning now how to operate our brains. And you have to use electricity. The language of the brain is electrical pulses. We're using spotlights and neon, and we're using firecrackers, and we're using computers and strobes, and we're using virtual reality. We're out there in the electric world, right?
Yep. And what's even better is now, I mean, you have your own domain now, Leary.com. Boy, I mean, talk about, you know, ego. Leary.com. So
I'm one of 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 people. Anyone can get a .com.
yeah, 1.3.
Yeah.
1.3.
Ransom.com, right?
Why isn't it Leary.edu?
How about OJ.com? What's it?
Why isn't it Leary.edu?
EDU.
Edu.
Education.
I don't believe in education.
So what's, now that we have, you know, your own domain, what's the power of...
It's not my own. I don't argue with it.
Well,
It's not my domain. You
well,
run it more than I do. It's yours more than
Yeah.
mine. You know how to operate it.
well,
If
now-
I want to use it, I have to go to you.
Well, now that we have...
Now, whose domain is it? It's Zack's domain.
Well,
And as your father, I hereby give it to you forever. And you are stuck with this wonderful window on the world out there. It's yours, boy.
okay, well, now that we have our own domain...
There we go. Okay.
Um,
If you can change the pronouns from
personal...
yours to ours, or from you to we, done what you should do.
So-
No more war between you and me,
No.
right?
Now that we have our own domain, what's
Yeah. Are you
what
listening, Bosnia and Serbia?
what's
Hey, Palestine, Israel, you listening?
I don't want to make it seem like a power trip, but what's the power in it, and what do you want to do with our domain? So basically, let's tell us about the website.
About 100 years ago, human beings were discovering how to use electricity to communicate. And the most incredible, miraculous, evolutionary tool was the home telephone. And when they wired, these businessmen who didn't care about, didn't realize what they were so greedy, they didn't realize if they put an electric communication device in everyone's home, that they would use it, not for the army or the Navy to do their job, but to gossip and to talk, and teenage kids flirting. They empowered people with the telephone. The implications of the telephone we don't understand because we Americans are so used to it. In the Soviet Union, to today, there's not a telephone book for the city of Moscow. Or maybe it is now, but in other words, the one thing a dictator always did in the past was bug the phones. Bug the phone. Tap the line.
Control the data.
That's right. Yeah. Censor it and control it. And also spy on it.
And one of my favorite quotes of yours has always been, "Who controls your screens controls your brains." And now that we're controlling a screen, I guess we're really controlling some brains too.
Your own mind.
Our own.
This word control has nothing. I hate the word control, except self-control. don't you try to control me and I won't control you, but I'm trying to thought.
Rather than control, it's we're programming our own screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're programming. We're not controlling.
To communicate. Actually, our website serves the function of a network television broadcasting place, because we can do things like that in live video. It's being seen by a kid in Tokyo. So, yeah. Thrilling.
Absolutely. And what I also like about our website so much, which is different than other websites, is well, the interface. Our interface is so well, it's so personal. You know, I mean, here we are. We're bringing people into our home here.
Have you seen the interface? Yeah. You click on outside, you click on the door, you come in.
So I think it's really so important to have a personal interface. And what made interpersonal? What made you decide to really? What made you come up with the idea to use our home as the navigational tool?
Well, to go back a step, since 1950, when I was a psychologist at Berkeley and then later at Harvard, I've been obsessed with interpersonal relationships. That means the most important thing about you over there is not that you're friendly or that you're depressed. It's what you and I are doing together that counts, because, see, electrons only exist when they're being received back and forth. It's that field between us and the field between, that's what counts. Now, I may have in my mind all these, I'm depressed, I'm angry, I want to fuck you. Forget that thing we're talking about. And that's the background. Interpersonal relationships are now possible between people that could never relate before. Language, geography, class, status. You can give the web, you can be anyone. I can be Marlene Dietrich, right? Jason Clark Gable. The point is, it's empowering the individual to communicate. And that's the key. The computer, the poor tech-mech engineer nerds from the 19th century who run the world now from MIT think in terms of machines. And I can't believe, I just read last night, this top-hip internet philosopher. They said the relationship, the interactivity is between the user and the computer. That's not interaction, that's reaction. Sure, the computer can react to what I do. The computer is such a good reactor that she can beat a master at chess. You know why? Because that's all, chess is. But the computer can't read.
Can't
interact.
Right.
The computer, now listen to this, the computer is a device to put people into communication with each other, telecommunication, in full-time color video around the world for less money than a telephone call cost 30 years ago.
One of the great interpersonal dynamics of the website is the living book.
Oh, yeah.
So what is a living book?
The living book is a device, or it's a way allowing people to communicate at the level of creativity. It violates all of the 19th and 20th century conditions about book. If I write a book, it's mine. You're not supposed to change. You're not supposed to write on the printed word. It's my book. And it's like doing a manuscript. Nolo tangere, you cannot touch it because it's my book. At the Living Web, I'm putting a couple pages of my book. You put a couple pages of your diary up there. It's out there. And then we have the thing where you can react to it. You can comment on what I did or what you wrote.
Or edit it.
You can edit it.
And I had this conversation about the living book on the philosophical grounds with a friend of ours who's a rare book specialist.
Oh, he drove him crazy.
It absolutely drove him crazy that, here we are, what's a good example? We can put, Tom Sawyer on the web here and have it become a living book.
So you have one of his books that he's going to sell.
Yeah, one of his
That's
books
the problem.
that he's going to sell, and that we can change Tom Sawyer's, and his adventures and make it completely differently. This really freaks out the fundamentalist paper, the pulpsters. So I kind of see the living book as kind of revolutionary.
Just nice for you.
It's pretty revolutionary. How do you you obviously have no attachment to any of your books, and so why is that?
Well, I love my writing. I'm tremendously passionate with it. I love my writing. I don't like the idea that it's frozen. I wrote some wonderful stuff 20 years ago, but if I could just revise it a little, so you have to keep revising it. I'm sorry, the Bible, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my point was to him that, books, especially like an old classic like Tom Sawyer or something, was written so long ago now that it's so wonderful prose and everything, but in a way it's kind of, I don't want to say it's not valid anymore, but we can really hip it out and everything. So I think that's the really important thing in a living book, is you can contemporize it.
Mark Twain is the person that I really know very well last night.
And he would love it.
He would love it. I say, hey Mark, we're taking Tom Sawyer, you know where it starts off, you're the widow's, Huckleberry Finn. Huck, remember you're up there? We changed it now. You leap out with a flying saucer. Is it okay? And Mark Twain is laughing his head up. Good. Knock those librarians and pompous writers off their ass. Rewrite it. Every kid out there, rewrite Huckleberry Finn. You can be Tom Sawyer. You can be Becky Thatcher. Come on. And now you can have pictures of it on the screen. Okay. You want to be Tom, but you can be Tom with a tuxedo and a that. You want to be Becky, you can be Becky, or like Marlene Dietrich, or what do you want? Because video, that's the thing.
And it leads us.
I got a picture of God the Father, the Almighty Killer that ruined everyone and killed us in a flood. And you can put his face there, put a mustache on,
And there you go.
make him look gay. Father Almighty in heaven is gay. That's an improvement.
So obviously the way you've written so many books now, 30, 40 books, whatever. I've lost count. That the format is really changing, and
Let's not use books. Use yards.
Yards.
Linear yard. I've written about 15 linear yards of wood pulp.
Pulp.
They kill trees for this.
but
I've got an enormous redwood tree. My books. I apologize.
since we're trying so hard to get away with that, but we can't just quite do it yet, so we had to put out another book and another yard,
We're here to talk about the book.
a yard.
We're going to hype the book. Good.
Here it is, Timothy Leary, Surfing the Consciousness, a graphic novel by Huck Getty Mellon von Schilleberg.
Schleberger. That means, Schleberger means bridge. The berries.
So here it is. Here's the novel. Put up by Last Gasp.
Ron Turner of Last Gasp, who does comic books. He did the Ralph Akram, classic. Robert Williams.
He did your old comic books too.
I'm honored that Last Gasp, who's the king of the comic people, published my book.
Well, what do you want to tell us about Surfing the Consciousness? Why, it's really, sure it's beautiful.
Yeah, shut down.
It's
Couldn't be better.
I can't really call it. It's more than a comic book. It's more than a book. It's an adventure. A wonderful young man by the name of Howard Hollis did the graphic design for it.
All of the graphic design here, Lisa and Wally.
Yeah, Brian and Lisa.
Brian and Lisa.
And Howard Hollis.
Kane and Howard Hollis and Karen Ferris. A lot of wonderful. Robert Williams helped to make this a comic book.
So you see what we're doing here with even living books. There's Andy Warhol with his brain open. So tell us about Surfing the Consciousness.
The book.
The book. The yard.
This is, I'm sure, one of the few first books. Every page is a computer screen. Scott Fast shows that. you know, the scroll bar and the menu bar.
File
see?
edit service terminal at the top.
And this young man, he's about 35 years old, he's middle age. He's half black, half white, half gay, half straight. He's manic and very depressive. He's got all the contraries, and really tremendously smart. And he, this is a wonderful expression for me. It allows me to say things that I would never dare say as a tax-paying citizen. I invented this character, half black, half white, half gay, half honest, half straight, sad, happy. It's a wonderful device to be as crazy, wild, street smart, hip as I want to be without taking any responsibility for it. And being outrageous and wonderful.
And all the graphics within it have how do they relate to the text?
Now remember, everything is interactive and means we all share. Now I worked on this text about 10 years. It was ahead of its time. It was too far out. We finally got a wonderful publisher to do it and a wonderful crew of artists, Howard Hollick. So I gave them the script and I said, no, put a illustration for this line, and we hypertext stuff. So we color all the text words. So you click on that and you get the graphic. And Howard came back at 100 paintings, which are brilliant. Here's one of them. Here's Howard Hollick. Can you imagine that? He did that in one night. Isn't that amazing?
All the different great comic book characters of our time.
And he's acting like a computer. See, he is arranging this the way a computer so becomes a very, very, very. There's a nice thing about any work of art now. You should be able to turn it upside down. It still makes as much good as we're not trapped to the gravity of down. But this is this kind of stuff that Howard does. It was a disaster. He had some stuff that I've got to show you. This is a wonderful, inventive, crazy mind if you take that. Penises. There's a penis wired up to all these scientific tests. Would you take the throw it away, throw the whole thing away in the kitchen. I'm sorry about that. I do it myself. But, and all these, look at that little crazy little guy with a penis, and he's insulting. He's got the Pope with a swastika. Well, Howard, it's wonderful, but it's not my book. And then I realized, perfect. I have my version of the book in text, and this extremely intelligent, crazy, far-out artist has his version, and instead of telling him, he should change for me, let's leave it together. And there's certain places, I even talk to him in the book. For example, there's one place where I'm talking about elegant German in Hamburg in tuxedos, and they're using very advanced drugs for sexual purposes. And these are elegant. And Howard gives me a picture of, what was that? How do you change that? Oh, he had two children with goggles. Howard, he's supposed to be decadent, voluptuous Germans, and you got two little altar boys here. Okay, I'll do it for you, and then he changes it so that he takes the altar. Oh, yeah. He takes the altar boy. No, it was a priest. A Hindu priest fucking a Hindu nun. Remember that? And he took them with the tuxedos on the bodies of the Hindus. Now that's totally insane and it's wonderful. And it's an example of how two different creative individuals can interact. And there it is. You go back and forth. And another thing I should say, we should always say, Zack, when we say we're gonna still use books. We're not attacking books. Books will be used. It's not either or. If you use a computer, it doesn't mean you don't read. If you like pasta, it doesn't mean you can't like steak.
We're trying to avoid the Woody Allen syndrome.
Aldous Huxley said that over and over again to me and to everybody. It's not both and. No, it's not either or. It's both and. And that's this book is not my book. the amount of creativity and people that threw stuff into this is wonderful.
This is really the blueprint for the living book, because, like you said, this is your text, and then Howard and everybody else, people from Ram Dass to Robert Williams to Susan Sarandon, made it their own. So as you can see, it's like a computer screen. So basically, this is what a living book will look like, or you or I.
They don't have to be a big screen.
Oh, no.
It doesn't be on a screen, you change it.
No. So,
Well, that's the pitch on the book.
okay.
That's a good hustle for a solo book.
Yeah.
Comes out in a couple
Sounds
weeks.
2 million after that.
And that's it. That's all I have to say.
No. I love your hair.
Oh, thank you.
Have people seen your hair? Would you come here just a minute? Come on. Oh yeah, just look at her hair. Look at that smile. Look at that. Isn't that great? That's interactive. If you're going to film me, you better
Gotta
get ready
be
to have
ready
your
to
own
go.
puss and pan and face on camera because it's interactive.
That's true.
And you're not going to make a victim of it. We're going to do it together, right?
Yes.
The key to everything.
Like that.
Don't be a victim. Religion wants to make you feel shameful. Doctors want to make you feel
Sick.
Don't listen to any of these experts. Think for yourself with your friend. Don't do anything on your own. And if you're going to be individual, if you're going to think for yourself, if you're going to be courageous, get out there, do it with the help of your friends. If you're going to be original, creative, and new and innovative, you got to have someone there say, "Hey, Tim, you're going too far there."
Come back.
You got it. And the more responsibility you take for your own stuff, the more you need partners and friends. I thank you. And I thank Luke Sala from Holland.
There is one. Can you talk about your new video that's coming out?
The How to Operate Your Brain?
Yeah, the part two.
That's out.
Okay.
It's out
can
now.
you talk a little bit about that because we'll intercut that.
Cut from it. Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you get a copy of the video when you show it here?
Yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to stretch on. I'm still on. This is, I think, the finest gift that any publisher has given to an author. Can you imagine? He thought he was getting a bunch of words of black and white, and he made this possible. I thank you, Rob.
Well, it's a beautiful book, and it's a good tribute to your writing.
Feel that. And we've talked about Howard. You can't move that. Pan on Howard now.
Howard
Howard did a pretty,
Howard, you're on TV.
did this genius stuff in it,
Howard, I talked to them about how
in a sense, and how this book has evolved in a couple of years is amazing. And everyone's always in a rush to get something out, and this is a testimony of why the rush is not important. That's why you have to wait till it's ready to go. Because otherwise we would have had something with a very inferior product in terms of the enjoyment of reading it. It's one of the few times you can actually pick up a book and get a sense of another medium through the book. Often people have been saying lately, well, books are passé, pretty soon everything will be on TV, and you can take monitors around or computer screens. You still can't pick up a computer screen and flip it like this. You can't kind of just hold it. There's something almost holy about it.
you can't use it in the bathroom. You run out of toilet
Can't use it.
paper.
That's
You can't-
Art and what you're able to do with the computers and on the net is going to look a lot different than it looks now. A lot of the tools are very Photoshop 2.5, and soon there's going to be Photoshop 12. And
Turn it upside down, Howard.
turn it upside. Okay.
Any good
Timothy
painting,
loves
see that?
stuff upside down. He wants paintings to be like rotating and like in very.
That's Howard's idea is this. Every painting should be in like a clock, face a clock. And every minute it clicks this way so that in an hour the painting does a 360.
You could.
If-
It's like a
if you like
sundial,
it, you
right?
can stop it. So if you want to have one, it's not either or. It's not moving all the time. No, like for a dinner party, if so and so's coming, you can have this and moving with that. So in other words, you design for the moment.
Yeah. Well, I try to make it part of the decade we're growing up in.
What software did you use mostly?
Photoshop. Just that's what I did all the images on. You can do anything on that program.
We listed everything. This is down to to salt. Monosodium glutamate was not added.
Wonderful
It's very
credits.
fun.
Hey, do you want me to set up a new piece that I did outside while you guys were talking, while you guys were chatting, and so you guys can maybe see it? I can like put it on the lawn.
What is it? Tell us about it, Howard.
Great. Yeah.
It's like the 100 greatest comic books of all time. And that's what the piece
Outside.
is.
Just go put that outside.
Yeah, it's just like it's big, so it won't fit in here.
Is it in the car?
Where is
Yeah,
it?
it's in the car.
Oh, go get it.
Oh wait a minute.
Oh,
Hey,
I left it in my
left it
car.
the other
That's-
car.
Yeah.
No, didn't you bring along
No, I just brought along a few prints from Huck. Get it. Oh well, I'll bring it by tonight.
all right.
Sorry. Oh well, folks.
You could follow us down.
Gotta edit that part,
no,
you know.
Okay.
Cut that. Or
Tim, do you want to talk any? Do you want to cut now? Should we cut this?
Yeah, let's cut
Cut it, cut it.
Tim, give me
Yeah.
1 minute. Say something to your friends in Amsterdam. To Simon. Here, sit down for a second and talk to him.
I'm coming back.
Some salutation.
Yeah, but we have to go.
Oh,
Oh, no.
oh no.
Sit down,
I
Tim.
want you to- I was trying to relax and have fun.
Yeah, but give me 1 minute on for Simon.
What?
For Simon Winkenoog and you guys in Amsterdam. Sit down and talk
I'm
to them.
talking about you and you're talking about Simon, okay.
I'm not here for me. I'm for them.
Luke, I consider you one of the finest friends I've ever had, and he's so enthusiastic. Sometimes he barrels into your life and like a bowling pin and knocks everything down. Good for you. I love you, Luke, and you brought the most beautiful lady in Europe with you, and you're welcome here anytime.
Okay,
We go
but
way
say
back.
something for your friends in Amsterdam.
Well, Amsterdam, we all know, is the most free, future, humanist city in the world. It's that small little country, Holland. There's Germany, and there's France, and England. And these sailors went around with skill. The Dutch knew how to navigate. They knew how to take that trip. And they never did it with war. So one of the things about the Dutch Empire, the Indo, the Asian, no guns, trade, good things. It would take your vegetables and we'll give you back Dutch clocks. But I love Amsterdam. All civilized human beings love Amsterdam. And Luc Sala and Simon Winkenoog. I've been called the Simon Winkenoog of America. He played the role very similar to mine of scholarly, urging people to fuck their heads up. Wonderful gentleman, writer, philosopher. Simon Winkenoog. Wonderful name, huh?
It's eye of the bird. Vink.
No.
Vink means
Bird?
vinken is a kind of bird,
Yeah.
a small bit,
Fish.
and eye means eye. It's the
Ah.
eye of the bird.
What means I?
Vinkenoog, eye of the bird, of a special little
What's
bird.
I?
Eye, to
Yeah,
see.
in Dutch.
Vink is a.
I know what the eye is.
Yeah, but
I don't-
vink is a kind of little bird.
No, but what is the?
What's
how do
the
you
word
say
for eye?
Oog.
Oh,
Vinken
that's-
oog.
Thinking, oh, that's going on.
Yeah, oog.
Isn't that magical? I want to change my name to Timothy Optical.